It's official. You've been A-listed.
What's going on, everybody? This your boy Melvin with A-List Lifestyle, and I'm sitting here with another beautiful individual that poured into me when I came here into DFW. I have Miss Cynthia Anderson in the building, and Miss Cynthia is someone who helped me get my business registered, get everything up to date, show me how to run a business instead of be hustling in my business. Miss Cynthia was someone that sat down and did one-on-ones with me and showed me how to get my certifications. Yes, I said certifications. To me, Miss Cynthia is more like a business liaison. Miss Cynthia is more like a business mentor. Miss Cynthia is someone that's like, that want to pour into you and see you win under any means necessary. So welcome to A-List Lifestyle.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all the great accolades. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So let's jump right into it. Miss Cynthia, can you start by telling us what inspired you to create the Southern Small Business Growth Initiative?
I found my passion a couple of years ago. I had the opportunity to work with the Minority Business Development Agency for a while, and it was a phenomenal opportunity, and the impact. That's what really gave me the drive to want to continue in this space, the impact. So I brought that with me down to Central Texas, and here we go. Hence the Southern Small Business Growth Initiative.
So I want to make sure everybody heard that a little bit clearly. Can we bring the mic a little bit closer to you? Because
Sure.
like you was a little soft right there, like the phone operator. You know what I mean? So what's the core mission behind your company, and who do you primarily serve?
So the core mission is to impact the small business community and grow it in the Central Texas area. There is a shortage of resource centers out there, and I just want to be able to bring the value of that impact. And that's who we serve right now. Just to start, Small Business Growth Initiative serves the Central Texas area. So that's the Bell County area and surrounding counties.
Okay, wow. How did your background in client relations and account management shape the way you help entrepreneurs today?
Well, building relationships is one of the main key things that will help you to grow your business. It's not what you know, it's who you know. So in client relations, one of the things that I did was build those lasting relationships between the client, and it was one of the things that really helped to establish the foundation, but also helped with like mentorship. So I brought that, as well as the account management. I'm a nerd. So I'm all about data and keeping my information safe, but most importantly, verifying. So that followed me into what I do now.
I can truly say the mentorship is there all the way. There was no day, no time that you wasn't available for me. You literally would answer your call, follow up on your email, make sure I followed up with people when I got business cards and we was at events and stuff together. Truly up there in my book when it comes to mentorship. We went to an event together called Access.
We did.
And you told me you never seen nobody work the room.
Let me just be clear, okay? I've used your experience at Access as an example for every other client that I served to help them to understand, just be yourself. I mean, you don't have to be a walking commercial. You know, you want to talk to what it is that you do. However, you just want to build those relationships. You want to open up a conversation. You know, it's not about selling yourself. It's about letting them know how you can be an asset in this partnership.
One of the biggest things I learned from being under y'all umbrella with growing my business was that knowing how to solve problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was a person that was easily and ready and willing to solve people's problems for them in the media space. So I had to jump into that real quick. When you said mentorship, I had to let them know, like, this is somebody I look up to. This is one of my mentors. So if you don't know, you better get one real quick. What gaps did you notice in the small business support that made you want to create a more tailored approach?
I think that there's really a generalization around small business support. And I think that was what the problem was. No two businesses' journeys are the same. So you want to identify where they are, what industry they're in, and let's see how we can find the resources and the support that fits, right? And that was a thing that I felt like was lacking. And there are a lot of great support centers out there. I do feel that you have to be able to identify the right one for your current need. And so we want to be able to provide that. And so that's the biggest gap that I saw, was individualizing the plan.
People, I don't know if y'all listening, but she's saying that she want to help define and conquer your problems so you can get all the access to the things that you need. Many startups struggle with access to capital. What finance options do you help connect people with?
First and foremost, we want to understand financial literacy. There's no point in going after capital if you don't even know what you're going after or what the right capital source is for you. Again, every business is different. So you may be seeking venture capital. You may need a small business loan or a micro lender. You may just need someone to help you understand how to build your business credit and how your personal credit ties into funding. So we want to be able to identify first, what do you understand financial literacy and where you are, and assess your business health. Then we can talk about what pairing you looks like with a financial source.
I think when we sat down and y'all looked at all my paperwork and the business and the stuff that I was doing, it was a little shocking because it was like anything y'all asked me to do, it was done like the next day or two.
You had done so much of the legwork that by the time we asked you, did you understand this or did you know this? Had you already done it? It was like, yeah, I got it right here. Yeah, absolutely. Look at this. And if you hadn't done it, you were so quick to get it done. Your drive spoke to what you wanted to do.
That's what I wanted to speak on. I was so hungry when I came here to DFW. And what I mean by hungry was that I was the new guy. Yeah. So nobody knew me. And every door I wanted to walk in or be a part of, they was like, I'm not going to say they were scared of me, but they made me feel that way, is because I was the new guy. So I said, I'm going to create my own door. And me and my wife talked and got together. And I started doing stuff like going to the chamber meetings by myself, going to the NCTA meetings by myself, just going to places, not knowing, but looking up to figure out how can I get myself into corporate America. And to this day, it's a little weird because I told you I feel like I'll be the youngest person in the room. Yeah. But it helped so much just finding that, some resources and the knowledges and the events, it put me in places that I never thought I'd be in, you know what I'm saying? But it took for people to make me feel some type of way where it was like, you know what? I'm going to just go do this myself.
That is actually our slogan. You said something that hit home with me. When you carved your own lane, you made your own door to walk through. That is actually what we stand for, carving lanes for small businesses. Where there isn't a way, we're going to find one.
I feel that the same way. And now I'm not doing it the hustle way. Right. I'm doing it the business. I'm actually doing it the right way. Right. And it came from learning from you all, you and your peers around, that I came around. But I always give you your high accolades, and I always bring everything back to you, is because I'm not going to say you gave a mama feel, but it was the big sister. It was like, I got you. Like, it's okay. I understand right now it feels like this, but if you do these right steps, it will happen. And I seen it with my own eyes. Like Miss Cynthia said, do this and do that. And boom, before you know it, I was doing it. And I even got into Goldman Sachs.
Yeah. And graduated.
Okay. It's not about me. It's about Miss Cynthia. So what are the most common mistakes small business owners make while seeking funding?
Again, not knowing the right type of funding. Startup businesses or small businesses, I think, would benefit from a smaller banking system. Look into your local banks. You don't have to do the Wells Fargos and the Chases and the Bank of Americas right off the bat, and then again, assessing your financial credit. Your personal credit, even though we don't want to say that it really matters and we want to say it's all about business credit, it's not. They're going to assess your personal credit. They're going to pull those credit lines. They want to see what you've done, what debt you have. And so you want to be able to get with a small financial source first, someone that can understand where you are and help you to grow.
That makes me wanted to ask about, it's a lot of entrepreneurs out here, And some people is winging it. Some people are YouTubing everything. But my biggest thing was like, what type of things do they need to prepare for before they even apply for business prep?
Oh man, again, that brings it back to that personal credit. I had a young lady speak with me about not being able to get funding anywhere because her personal credit was, kind of damaged, wasn't the best. However, that doesn't stop your business from needing funding. So I said, you know what? While you're working on your personal credit, let's look for funding sources in other areas. There are grant opportunities out there that nobody leverages because they just don't know where to look.
So that makes me want to go to this right here. Are there specific grants or funding programs that entrepreneurs overlook? Like, is it okay to share a few of those?
Absolutely. There are small business grants that are provided by your local community. There are things that are, let's say, gender based. So they have women's small business grants. They have grants that I look up all the time for things like if you're in construction, there are construction-based grants, and they're small. They're anywhere from $500 to $10,000, and it's a one-time grant. But you have to be in touch with your community sources. I think that's a really big thing that a lot of people don't tap into. You're so used to looking on grants.gov or looking at all these different sources that say that they're going to look for grants for you, but they're going to charge you more to do what you can do for free. So leverage your community.
She just dropped the gem, y'all. I hope y'all are truly listening. I hope y'all taking notes. And if not, rewind that back so you can go there. Or you know what? I'm going to just make it even better. At the end of this video, I'll ask Miss Cynthia to leave her information so you can book her. Is that okay? Can they book you?
Absolutely. And you don't even have to book me. We can just have a conversation.
Okay. So let's talk about technical support and strategic. You mentioned providing technical support. What does it look like for a small business owner?
Technical support is a general term for pretty much anything that you need that will help to build the foundation for your business. So that could be anything from helping you to create a business plan. That could be capability statement assistance. That can literally be helping you to understand what certifications you need and helping you to leverage those and understanding what available options you have for your business. So.
To me, when I hear that, all I hear is, Melvin, what is your processes and procedures? When I hear, and I'm like, what is that? Do you remember?
I do. I remember that conversation.
Now it feels so good knowing the business terminology. Every business have a different terminology, y'all. Yeah. And I had to learn I'm gonna say the media terminology. I do more than just photography and videography. But I had to learn my processes and procedures, y'all, and I gave them the flux. But I have them now. I feel good about them and I stand behind them. Okay. What tools or systems do you recommend to help small business operate more efficiently?
That's a great one. Actually, we're moving into this space where AI is everything. If you know how to use it, it can be a game changer for your business. We do a lot of work with AI. And so I think that understanding where that is and how that can how you can leverage that to support your business, anything from operations to digitizing some of your workflow. It's very helpful.
So let's get into the business plan aspect. So like, how do you guide a client through the processes of creating a solid business plan?
So that's a conversation. First things first, what does your 5-year look like? A business plan is just your 5-year trajectory on how you feel your business is going to grow. It also has a sense of risk management in there as well. Sure. And so you want to identify your market, understand what opportunities for growth are there, and let's talk about financial projections. So those are some things that we sit down and we're going to discuss just to kind of get a broader understanding of your business. And it's really going to pull out the weak points, things that you haven't looked at. And so that's going to help to build a strong business plan, is understanding those things that you haven't identified.
Saying that, what is like one of the common elements missing from most business plans that you review?
The growth opportunities. I think that I can use this business as an example. They have far surpassed this now. However, I had a client who talked to the percent of growth without having a necessary plan on how they would get there, saying, "Oh, you know, we see that in 5 to 10 years we have the ability to grow to 20%." In this area or in this area, but they had no clear path on how they were going to do that. They hadn't identified any resource partners or avenues that they could leverage to grow, and they didn't know how to pivot in the event that there was a catastrophic event that changed the trajectory the trajectory of their business. And so that was a huge thing.
When you say that, that reminds me when back in school when they talked about forecasting. And yeah. I did not like forecasting, but I understood it, and I understand it more now. But these are the things or the tools that people need to understand where they're going or where they need to go and how to pivot, like you just said. Right. So I'm happy you actually touched on that for me to even pull that out, is because people need to understand that I come under your umbrella. My success is not me by myself. My success came with a team. Yeah. And I had to understand the power of team, is because I was a one-man army at first.
If you would have asked someone pre-COVID what their business plan looked like, they would have a clear understanding of what that was. Not even thinking that COVID would change the course of where their business was. And that is what we mean by understanding the risk and building a growth plan.
All right. You make me want to go into startup and industry tailored services. So sure. What kind of startups do you typically work with, and what industries are growing faster right now?
We work with all startups, no matter where you are. If you have a vision, we're here to help to see if you can bring that vision to fruition. The industries that are growing right now that I see, construction is always booming. However, cybersecurity is huge. And I can say that it is saturated. However, there's no shortage of opportunities in that space. You just got to know where your lane is in cybersecurity. So.
Okay, so how do you tailor your services for different industries like retail, tech, or professional services?
Sure. So depending on the industry that you're in and where you are currently in your journey, because that's a big difference, that we need that. That's going to help us to be able to tailor our services. So, for example, if you're in retail, you have a product, hypothetically speaking, and you are looking for exposure, right? You're looking to connect with, let's say, someone who can help you with marketing so you can build your brand and expand your clientele. We help with that because we want to understand where you are as far as your need for marketing, what that looks like. Let's see if we can leverage social media marketing, or are you more of an in-person person? Would you benefit from a pop-up shop? And let's see what those different things look like. You know, we have clients who are in agriculture. So we want to identify, do you have the proper insurance? You know, what does funding look like for you? You know, let's see if we can connect you with some partners that we have at the USDA and, you know, just kind of get that connection there. So
you make me think of B2B, B2C. But outside of that, I want to kind of jump from there. Do you remember being on a call and one big company was like, I'm not even finna deal with you if you don't even have a business email?
100%. 100%. Absolutely.
He said, I'm not even taking you serious. It's because you got a Gmail, a Yahoo.
Absolutely.
He said, I want to see yourbrand.com.
And that goes back to the fact you don't know what you don't know. You know, you may have the skills and you may have 30 plus years in an industry and you know this industry, but having a business sense is different. right? And when the rise and the fall of the business is on your shoulders, you have to look at those little small things and understand how a corporation or a large entity is looking at your business. If you have things like a Gmail, a Yahoo, if you don't have a website, if you're not into social media and you don't understand how to leverage that, those small things matter.
I love LinkedIn. At first, I didn't understand it, but to me, it's the business people Facebook.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm old school, and if it wasn't for the business space, if it wasn't for my professional side, I would not utilize social media at all. Okay, but I had to learn about the importance of Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of these different things, LinkedIn. I had to understand that it's a really big deal as it relates to 1, connections, 2, marketing, and 3, understanding who else is in your industry that you can connect with to help grow.
I like that. I like that a lot. Collaboration and partnership has really helped me a lot. It took for me to be under, I'm gonna keep giving you your flowers. It took for me to be under your spotlight to understand the things that I was missing. And it all goes back to team collaboration, networking, and things of that nature. Sometimes supporting other people can benefit you in so many ways you don't know.
Right. Absolutely.
Just being there for someone else.
It grew me helping you.
And building that relationship as well is because their colleagues, they see what you do for them and want it for themselves, and now that relationship that you can be spoken on in rooms that you're not even in.
Right.
So I just think that that's like a beautiful thing. So going there, let's talk about client relations and community impact. What do you believe is the key to building a strong client relationship that lasts?
I think that it's strategic relationships. I don't want to say it's all about the business, but at the end of the day, you want to benefit from the relationship, both parties. And so I think that for one, aligning yourself with the right person or company or mentor who can help you to grow, that's going to build a lasting relationship, because you're going to be growing together, and you can always leverage that. But listening, a lot of larger companies, been there, done that, and sometimes we tune our ears more to what's happening in our space and not necessarily listening to those who need that information, that support, and they're where we were, right? And so I think that's a huge thing, listening and growing together.
Can you share an example of a local business that you helped that's now thriving because of your program?
Is that a trick question? Yes. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say, Melvin, you are the epitome of growth. This is not necessarily with the Southern Small Business Growth Initiative, but you are one of the clients that I worked with in the past that your growth helped me to see just how impactful this thing is. When you first came to us, you were fairly new in that space. And your first time speaking with me, I thought to myself, this man's got drive. He's got drive. All we have to do is identify what A, B, and C looks like, give him that information, and he's going to go for the gusto. And you did that. And we watched you. And I'm going to say, like you said, that motherly thing and that big sister, I, for one, in the background was rooting for you in every set. Every time we went somewhere, I'm screaming about A-List. Every time we were at an event, I was like, y'all haven't booked with A-List? They should be here doing for time. And they got so tired of me saying about your company and using you as an example, that people started to incline their ear to what I was saying. And that was a game changer, I think, for me, because I understood then, man, they weren't listening. And once they started listening, they started paying attention. Then it was like, we see you. And that your growth is one of the ones that I would like to use as an example going forward for clients to come. So
I say thank you to that. But one of the things that I learned from that as well is pouring back into others. I do classes, I do workshops, I go to the libraries. I teach senior citizens how to use their cell phone. Like I literally give back, and I'm not to where I want to be, but I'm very grateful, humble, happy, excited to be where I'm at. But my goal is to be as big as Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers. If you hear this, Tyler Perry, if you hear this, if you see this, come get a young man. It's because I would love to be under your wing, but in the same sense, I'm going into the youth of DFW. Like I'm pouring back into the communities, the places that's being overlooked. Like that's where I'm at.
Your journey. You never know how many people you're going to impact with just telling your story.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I am. And that's why I have to bring you here today to give you your flowers, is because I want people to know where I get it from. You know, a lot of times people feel like they're alone or they're in a road by themselves, but I know that I wasn't. So I want to be able to show people and highlight people to let people know that there's real, genuine, good people out here. Everybody is not going to mess you over. Everybody is not going to do wrong by you. I literally I have a new family. Miss Cynthia, you part of my new family. You know what I mean? And I take heed to that. And it's crazy is because the people I look up to and I consider my mentors or my role models, they all are in different genres, like spirituality mentor, business mentor, photography mentor, you know what I'm saying? Just different people in different spaces. And all of these people love on me the same. And it's like, it's kind of weird. Like we knew each other in a different life type of deal or whatever. But I take spirituality, I take stuff like that so serious, is because you never know, you know what I'm saying, how that can help them. Like my mentor, he love on me all the time and just tell me like, you the son I never had. And I'm the person that just call and check on him and just ask him, do you need anything? Are you all right? And it'd be so weird to him because he was like, I'm supposed to be doing that to you.
And how did you meet him?
I met my mentor, Giles King. I met him at his event. It was Urban Arts Center. He do theater for children. Okay. And I was there shooting. And I was like, who's the person that owned this? You know what I mean? You know, I'm doing my homework. You know, that's what you know me for who I am. And when I found out who he was, I asked to take him to lunch. And I took him to lunch. And from there, we've been locked in ever since.
Wow.
Yep. And I have another mentor in Detroit. His name is Rick. My pops, Rick, I call him Pops, and my daddy love him too. But Rick gave me my first camera, my first laptop.
Wow.
From there, look at what he sparked.
Exactly.
A whole studio. I had a studio in Detroit, a studio here. So
serious?
It's like, yeah.
Wow.
So it's he sparked something that's living forever. You know what I mean?
That's amazing.
But in the same sense, what I'm saying is that it's so powerful to be around people that see things in you that just pour into you to push to others. So like, we got to know how to give back at any given means. And to me, that's one thing that you are very, very good at, is giving back. So we got to make sure that we are celebrating you and we pouring back into you, or that's why you had to be here. Like, I want everybody to see Miss Cynthia.
Thank you. Well, every conversation is a learning experience for me as well as the client. We are going to go through the journey together, whatever that looks like. And when I say I'm the type of person to answer emails in my sleep, I am the type of person to answer emails in my sleep. Okay. So.
Before we leave, this is so important. I want you to look right here into your camera. And I want you to leave a message to any aspiring entrepreneur listening right now who's ready to start but doesn't know where to begin.
There's no such thing as a dumb question. There's no such thing as too many questions. No matter where you are in this moment, you can go wherever it is that you are wanting to go. Just ask the right questions. Research, plan, and keep pushing. It's not going to be easy, and it's not going to happen overnight. But do not stop your passion because of a hard time.
For anybody that's watching this and want to get in touch with you, Miss Cynthia, can you at least leave your phone number, your email, and your social media?
Absolutely. You can always reach me any time of the day at info@ssbgi-rc.org. That is my email address. Feel free to reach out. Our phone number is 254-213-0521. You can also reach us online, send us a contact form at www.ssbgi-rc.org. The RC is for Resource Center.
Miss Cynthia, we just want to say thank you for taking the time to come and sit with us today here at A-List Lifestyle. We will have you back after the Resource Center due to grand opening that's coming soon. And we just want to give you your flowers and let you know that you are loved all through DFW and around the world.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. This was awesome.
You're welcome.